Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of By Night, the series where I'll be covering every night and 24-hour bus route within Greater London. And you join me here at Warren Street Station. I'm outside University College Hospital, and Warren Street Tube Station is over there. So, the plan for tonight is we're going to get the 134 from here up to Friern Barnet. Then we're going to get the 43 from Friern Barnet down to Moorgate, then the N63 from Moorgate up to where are we going on that? East Finchley. Then I'm going to hop across to Wood Green on the 102 and N91, which we have done earlier in the series, and over to Wood Green and then down into Waterloo on the 243 to round things off. So, like last week, it's 4 new routes, but 6 buses in total. So, I'm also starting this a lot later than normal. It is currently 1:21 in the morning, and the 134 that I'm getting leaves here at 1:30, so I've got about 9 minutes. Which is why I'm speaking quite fast, to keep this intro nice and snappy. However, I can see the bus I will have from here. Let's see what it is. It's a B5LH Radcliffe Gemini 3, because, you know, we clearly haven't been on enough of them. Oh, it's a 14 reg one, which means it's one of the ones new for the brief moment that Metroline had the 34. So that is VWH 2006. Very nice. So yes. So tonight is the North London episode tonight is the episode where North London will be completed. Next week is the episode where East London will be completed. And the week after that is the episode where everything will be completed. So, I think with that, I'll see you on the 134. And you now join me on Metroline London's VWH 2006, which is one of a large batch of B5LH Radcliffe Gemini 3s, new for the short while that they operated the 34, which runs between Walthamstow and Barnet. But the 134 runs from just there at Warren Street, opposite University College Hospital, out to North Finchley, Tally-Ho Corner, via Camden Town, Kentish Town, Archway, Muswell Hill and Friern Barnet. So, we're on this tonight as far as Friern Barnet, where we'll be changing on to the 43. Now I could do those waypoints off the cuff, because I used to live in Kentish Town. And so this was one of my local routes, and during the day it operates with some lovely Optare Metro deckers, but overnight they put hybrids on it. I don't fully know why, honestly, probably because the Metro deckers need to charge. But anyhow, we're coming around into Warren Street now. Into Warren Street Station on Tottenham Court Road. So, yes, let's get to the B-roll, because this route gets busy sometimes.
where it's close to my house.
So is it okay?
It's like 10-minute walk, but yeah.
Okay, then that's fine. For London, that's very fine. Yeah.
Ai niin, more.
No, like, is that kind of person that I know, or like, especially with the word, like, it comes to the
How you
things that I
doing?
know,
How you feeling about it all? Yeah, interesting your insights. Are you getting it?
But like, what is that?
It's towards each other, so it's a good to build a trust in that. And yeah. Why do you think it's more helpful to be open? How open? I know I guess like technically fine, but like you saying you're
So I've now made it to Friern Barnet, which is between the Finchleys. It's, you know, somewhere off to the side of the Finchleys, between some of them. And I'm walking down to the start point of the 43 because I should have time. I should have time, despite that massive diversion. Had I known what the diversion route was, I would have filmed a bit more of it. Because the diversion route was from Muswell Hill to Coney Hatch via Fortis Green, East Finchley, and the North Circular. I filmed a bit as we went down the North Circular. I filmed a bit down Fortis Green, but I would have filmed in East Finchley had I known what we were doing there, because there's no right turn from Fortis Green onto the main drag through Finchley. What we did instead was we turned left, the only way you can turn, onto the main drag, and then did a U-turn in the forecourt at East Finchley Tube Station, which is frankly mental. But we were only 8.5 minutes late, which is not bad going at all. So yeah, I'm now going to get on the 43. And you now join me on Metro Line London's BDE 2619 on the 43. here at Friern Barnet. I'm at the stop where it starts from, and I've been let on early. We go in 6 minutes' time for the run down to London Bridge via. Now this one I don't know if I can do off the cuff. Well, tonight it will be via East Finchley first, then Muswell Hill because of the diversion. Unless it's only on in one direction. We'll find out. Then it'll be via Highgate, Archway, and Highbury and Islington, I think. Then via Old Street. I'm going to see how right that was. That was right. That was right. So this route tonight will go via East Finchley first. Normally runs via Muswell Hill, Highgate, Archway, Highbury and Islington, Angel, and Moorgate to London Bridge. Of course, tonight we might be diverting via East Finchley. I don't know if the diversion's happening in both directions. We will see. But yes, the 43. Very good route. I like this route a lot. And I've made my views on these BYD and boroughs very clear. I love them. Probably way too much. But yeah, 43, it's always been a good route in my experience. Always very reliable, always very quick. And it's very nice that it runs all night. Especially because Friern Barnet doesn't really get much in the way of transport links, so it's nice that it at least gets something overnight. But yes, let's get to the B-roll, eventually when we depart, in 4 minutes' time.
St John's Church. Friern Barnet Town Hall. Highgate Wood. Highgate Station. For your safety, please cross the cycle lane with caution. Upper Holloway Station. Street Station. City Road, Leonard Street.
And you now join me in Moorgate, in the City of London, at Finsbury Square. I just got off of the 43, which did indeed do the diversion. The diversion is happening on both routes in both directions. And yes, I'm now at Finsbury Square, which is one of the terminus points, i.e. the central end of the 214. There's one just coming over on the other side of the camera right now. Is the light gonna go green? I've pressed the button. I think I can see my bus though. My N263, which is gonna be the next bus I get from here. We're getting that up to East Finchley, where we're going to be changing onto a 102 to go over to Bounds Green, and then an N91 to get across to Wood Green to get the last route we need to do today, the 243. Another one I sort of semi-forgot about. But that is for later. For now is the N253, and I will obviously fill you in when we get on board. And you now join me on Metro Line London's VWH 2239 on the N263, which runs from Moorgate Finsbury Square to North Finchley via Highbury and Islington, Holloway, East Finchley, Holloway and East Finchley. So, the N263, on the face of it, is probably the newest addition to the overnight bus network.
To North Finchley.
Yeah, it's probably the newest addition to the overnight network in London, but really it's just a renumbering of the N271. The daytime 271, they got rid of it a while back, and I mean at the start of this series, this route was still numbered the N271. I think I called it out when I did the N5 in episode 1. But yeah, so it's since been renumbered the N263. So let's talk about the 263 and how this route differs. So the regular daytime 263 runs from Highbury Barn, near Highbury and Islington Station, up to Barnet, via all the places that this route goes through, and then continues from North Finchley through Weston. So actually, this route is quite a bit shorter than the daytime 263, and the reason for that is, of course, that the N20, first of all, already goes between North Finchley and Barnet, and this route isn't the N263. As much as iBus is telling you it's the N263, and the front destination blind is telling you it's the N263, it's the N271. And the N271 used to terminate at Highgate Village, so it's a very different route. It makes sense why they renumbered it, because it does mostly follow the 263, but yeah.
N263 to North Finchley. Tufnell Park Road. For your safety, please cross the cycle lane with caution. Archway Station. Bishop Gardens. Highgate School. Northville Avenue. Woodside Avenue.
And you now join me at East Finchley Station, which if I had to answer the question of what is the most beautiful London Underground station, I think one of the ones I would say, because I certainly wouldn't just say one of the ones I would say is East Finchley. It's an absolute masterpiece of Art Deco design. So symbolic of the optimism that was around in the 1930s when London Transport had the new works programme and were expanding the tube like mad, or at least planning to, and introducing the 1938 stock, which went on to become absolutely legendary, and they still have one that occasionally runs. How much of it can you see right now, though? I don't know. But look at that. It's such a lovely station. I'm just looking at it like... Where's the big statues? Hang on, I can't find the big... They have statues. There are statues. There are archers. Oh, you can sort of see them if I sort of point the camera like that. There's some archers on top of the building at East Finchley, and they just, it's such a lovely example of what we were doing in the 1930s, how we were thinking in the 1930s. It's a beautiful station, but I'm here not to get the tube because it's closed. It's a Thursday night, Friday morning. Night tube is not running, although this station does get night tube service on the Northern Line at Charing Cross branch. So, I'm here to change onto the 102, which we've done in a previous episode of the series. So I will rejoin you at Wood Green, where we're going to be getting the next new route for the series, and the final one for this episode, the 243.
Wood Green Station.
So, I've now made it to Wood Green. Behind me there is Wood Green Station on the Piccadilly line. And I had a very smooth rundown on the 102 and N91, changing at Bounds Green. So, I am now about to get on the 243 and do a full run on it all the way down to Waterloo. The time now is 04:29, the next one is in 6 minutes, and I kind of want to say that as of now, the route is no longer running at its half-hourly overnight frequency. It's already up to every 15 minutes, which, you know, I'm counting it. I'm counting it because we're so close to the end. And it's also before 5 in the morning, so, you know, that's sort of my traditional bound, you know, that's what I say. Consistent frequency between midnight and 5 AM is what counts to be included in by night. And it is before 5 AM, so it counts. So yeah, it should be a nice run. I've done I lived in Tottenham for a couple of years as well as living in Kentish Town, so I know the 243 quite well. It's always a good run. Very direct, very nice route. I love the 243. And you now join me on Arriva London's HV339 on the 243, which is another of London's 24-hour regular bus routes, which runs from Wood Green to Waterloo via Tottenham, Stoke Newington, Dalston, Shoreditch and Clerkenwell. We're on this all the way to Waterloo, and as I said in the between buses bit, I used to live in Tottenham. I lived in Tottenham for 2 years, until almost exactly a year ago, as of recording this. And the 243 was always sort of kind of an underdog. I didn't use it that much, but it was always very, very handy when I did, because it basically frequency boosts the bit of the 149 between Shoreditch and Tottenham, which is probably the bit I used the most. So if a 149 didn't show up, but a 243 did, I would take the 243. But there weren't that many occasions where I would only be able to take the 243, so it sort of ended up getting overshadowed by everything else. Especially the 476, which back when I was living in Tottenham had some lovely, lovely buses on it. Sadly not so much anymore. But anywho, let's get to the B-roll. And that's a wrap on episode 24 of By Night. You join me in Waterloo. If we look through that railway arch there, you will see HV339, the bus that we had in on the 243. That was a very good run, exactly as I've come to expect from the 243, or as I had come to expect from the 243 over the time that I lived in Tottenham. So yes, to recap tonight, we started on the 134 from Warren Street and took that up to Friern Barnet, where I found out that there was an absolutely wild diversion on. Or on which I found out there was an absolutely wild diversion affecting the 43 and 134. Speaking of the 43, when we got to Friern Barnet, I walked up from where the 43 and 134 diverge over to where the 43 starts, and took that down as far as Moorgate. On arrival at Moorgate, I changed for the N263 and got that up to East Finchley before off-camera getting the 102 and N91 to position myself over to Wood Green to pick up, well, I'm back at the railway arch. That bus on the 243 down here. Everything went exactly to plan, even factoring in the diversion, which I didn't know about beforehand. So I have to say, the end of the series, touchwood, is going a lot better than some parts of the series have done. Speaking of the end of the series, it is nigh. There are only 5 routes left. They are the 238, the 128, the EL1, the 365, and the 472. So, I think on that note, all that's left to be said is I will see you on Monday from City Bus Manager on the South Coast, on Thursday from City Bus Manager once again up in West Scotland, and next week from By Night. Bye bye.